Morning. So we are back on to my favourite stitch, the moss stitch, and I set out on this one absolutely adamant that I was not going to make any mistakes whatsoever. And for a long way through this, I was really beginning to celebrate the fact that my tension was pretty good. There's still this cast on bit isn't very pleasant, but I imagine that will be hidden by when we're joining them all together. And it was all going jolly well, and I was beginning to rejoice in the fact that I'd really cracked this whole moss stitch thing. And then I lost concentration, and there we go. Now I'm going to keep this in because the moss stitch squares are going to tell a story. When I first did my the first ever moss stitch square, and that was a long time ago, and I think it was almost nearly a year ago, I had a mistake pretty much a centimetre or two into the square, and then we had to do another one, and the mistake was a little bit further along. And now we've got this one, which is closer to the end. So I'm hoping that the next time we come to moss stitch, that will have slipped off the end of my square, and we will have a totally perfect moss stitch square. I did have to redo it occasionally, but I think it's just my concentration levels. It's after Christmas, I'm exhausted, and January just seems to make me really cross and tired. So I sort of blame this on the weather, really. But this is moss stitch is still texturally, it's so lovely, and it will add a real nice texture to the blanket when we finished. I actually did think about threading some different coloured wool through here just to add a little bit of me to it. So I might actually well do that, because I think that actually might make that quite pretty. But that's pretty much bang on 15. And we've done it before. It's not particularly difficult, but it is testament to the fact that we are coming on as knitters, that I can get all the way across the square to there before I actually make a mistake. I'm sure many of you will do it perfectly. I'm just a bit of a numpty in terms of concentration. It's not particularly difficult. When you get to the end of the line, whichever one you finish on, you start on. And visibly, it's easy to work out where you are, because if the bulge is towards you, you know that you've got to put a knit in. If the bulge is away from you, you've got to put a purl in on each stitch. It's not particularly difficult. So I wish you luck with this. If you manage to do it perfectly, I salute you. Good luck.